Without further ado, we'll get things rolling with Tuesday night MACTION. That's been the great thing of the last couple of weeks. We've had some MAC football on weeknights, and this week is no different. We'll start with the Western Michigan Broncos taking on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. It's another of these directional Michigan schools, rivalry games, if you will, in the MAC. We had one with Central and Western Michigan earlier this season. Now we got Western and Eastern here with Western Michigan 5-point road favorites, 68 the total in this game. The Western Michigan Broncos, a team that's been on a little bit of a point spread slide the last 3 weeks, Connor, 0-3 against the spread, losing 2 of those games against Toledo and Central Michigan. And last week, they played Akron, and I took the points with Akron, and they were getting a boatload of points in that game, 25 points, in fact, against Western Michigan.
Yeah.
And Akron just took Western Michigan right down to the wire. I remember us talking about Akron, Western Michigan, Connor. Last week, we said the quarterback change for Akron. Look at that offense now with Zach Gibson. Played well, 305 passing yards. We didn't trust Western Michigan's defense, which has had some issues in recent weeks. Not some, a lot. They've given up 31 points now in 5 straight games. 0-3 against the spread their last 3. 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games. The victory against Kent State was impressive, but you sense this team, I don't know if they're leaking oil, if they're running out of gas, but they're just not playing as well right now. And on the flip side for Eastern Michigan, you've got a team that has been up and down as well. I mean, they're off a loss to Ohio, but it's an Ohio team that you throw out the early season numbers. It is a different Ohio team right now. And Eastern Michigan lost outright to them last week, 34-26. But here we go again. And we've said this a million times. Feels like we can pop a tape in the tape recorder and you'd hear the same thing that we're about to say right now. It's Eastern Michigan in the underdog role, and they have been nothing but money in the bank in that underdog role. They won outright as dogs against Toledo. They won outright as 2.5-point dogs earlier in MAC play against Miami, Ohio. This is where you want to be backing this Eastern Michigan team. I like the way the quarterback has played for them. Ben Bryant, the Wisconsin transfer, he's really gotten better throwing the ball the last few weeks. The defense is still a little shaky, no doubt about it, for Eastern Michigan, but you can say the same thing about Western. It does feel like this is a high-scoring game. I get why the total is 68. I would probably lean to the over. There should be points. I think both offenses are better than both defenses, but more than that, I like Eastern here, +5 in this game. Rivalry game. If you took the points in the Central Michigan, Western Michigan rivalry game a couple weeks ago, you cashed with the dog. I think you can cash with the dog here in this game as well. Connor, what do you think? Western, Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, I'll be quick with the MAC. The MAC last week was pretty good to me. I think I went 5-0, and that
it has been good.
I always like that in the MAC because it can get wild and some of these scores can get crazy. But I'm with you here. I mean, this is just no way. I think Western's a little bit the better team. I think they have a little bit better offense, but this is a rivalry, and this is where we talk about every week. This is where we want Eastern because we're always digging into these games. So the early games, the MAC games. So it's Eastern Michigan or just pass. I think Western, like I said, has been a better team. I think this is more like they're a pick 'em, maybe -2. They just give them a little bit because they're the favorite. So yeah, I'm with you here with Eastern Michigan. On the total to 68, I was looking through all these last night. I think it's a little high. Obviously, it could go over. These teams get into the 30s, they'll get over that 68. So, and watch the weather. I've already pulled it up. Here, I just got to get to it. It looks pretty good. Wind, it's just going to starting to get cold. You know, it's starting to get 38, 40, but not much wind. It looks good. So, yeah, nothing on the total here. Just grab me the points with Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, I agree. I think Eastern Michigan's the side here. This has been a moneymaker. This really been a moneymaker as a dog really since Chris Creighton's been there as the head coach. That's really when the success as an underdog started for this Eastern Michigan team. Because, you know, you look at their record, 6-4, you think, that's an all right record. They're above 500. They're a solid, decent team. But hey, solid and decent for Eastern Michigan this year is way better than anything they did before Creighton got here as the head coach. This was a dumpster fire. This was a bottom feeder. This was a hideous football program before he got there. So he deserves a lot of credit in my mind for what he's been able to do. And once again, a winning season, very potential that could happen here. As long as they don't lose their last 2 games and end up 500, they have a chance to have another winning season here at EMU.